Okay, we have that, and then not only do we have the connections, but we actually have the face-to-face connections with the parties. I know, like right now, we're getting ready to put together a Grammy party, a yacht party this weekend. I mean, and the guys that attend to these parties that we actually have, I mean, we have, Diddy's attended these parties. Paris Hilton has attended these parties. Chris Brown. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, we have access to people that you have. Now, once we take you and put you in a position to dress you up, now you have the confidence to actually successfully network with these people. Not only hoping do they put you on, but it's like, hey, look, man, I got my credit is on her. I got money. I got my business. I got the car. I got the place. I got the connects, and I'm here in front of you, Chris Brown. You need to get with me. Does that make sense? That's what the Dope Network is about. Being able to put you at a confidence level to where you can approach the people that you've always been wanting to approach or been afraid to approach because your stuff is not in order. Okay? So this is a beautiful system, guys, that we have, and I mean, I'm telling you guys what we're doing right now. I mean, I want to kind of tell you about my story. I mean, before Dope Network, I mean, I've always was the guy that was like, I know my credit was bad, but I didn't know how bad it was until Demont made me look at my credit score. And I'm not afraid to say it, but my credit score, I started off at a 485. That is 485 with experience, 486 with TransUnion, and 515 with Equifax. I mean, I had no idea what my credit score was. But now, since I was able to, it's not going to work. It's not going to work until you actually take a look at those three numbers. Once you take a look at those three numbers, and what are we always getting? Like Drake says, we're always getting older. And as we get older, guys, we cannot play around with credit because credit is how you get your house. It makes your life so much easier. It's how you get ahead. And when I looked at those numbers there, it did something to me spiritually. It just made me want to get my stuff in order. And now that I got my stuff in order, the beautiful thing about it is the world tends to start to open up. But that first step, it starts with you. It starts with you wanting to make a change, making a difference, and really wanting to level up and go through that process and be consistent with it and discipline yourself enough to actually be consistent with that process. So, and like right now, guys, right, what we're doing right now, like I said, I started with a 480 credit score, and what we're doing now is we're going from city to city, empowering other people to become millionaires. And being a millionaire is not that impressive, guys. I mean, it's an easy thing to do if you have the knowledge. And today I'm going to tell you guys, knowledge is not power. I know we grew up with the whole knowledge is power and all that stuff, but I'm here to tell you, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. And the information that we do at the Dope Network, we actually give you the knowledge for you to go do the next thing. Because if you're sitting here, oh yeah, like how I was before I got started, I knew I had a poor credit score. I didn't know what the score was, but it wasn't until I started applying the things that Demont told me. It wasn't until I started calling the places for my student loans. It wasn't until I started putting those, clearing stuff up, following what Demont was telling me to do is when I started seeing results. And that's what we're here for, results. Okay, so like I said, guys, this is a beautiful thing. This is a leader's call. We're looking for more people that want to get involved with this because I'm speaking from the heart. This has actually changed my life, and now I feel like I've became a brand ambassador. Last night I don't know where everybody is. I know this is a 50-state call right here, but I live in California, and I was actually on Ventura Boulevard. I met with some of my friends last night. They're inspiring managers. They're inspiring R&B artists. And we have people that were on television shows, soap operas, and I'm sitting there just talking. They was like, "Hey, what do you do?" And I said, I work with this, company. I'm the president of this company, Dope Network, and what we do is we take, the guy that's trying to start from the ground up, the entrepreneur, we fix his credit, put him in a position for him to get money to fund his idea, because every idea needs seed capital. And not only do we help him fund his idea, but we have business models that he can take that money and plug into to keep that residual going, to keep that money going. And then not alone, if you're in a major city like Miami, we're in Atlanta, we're in New York, we're in Chicago, we're in San Francisco, LA, San Diego, Dallas, any of those cities right there where you gotta, you don't want to pull up in an old Honda, do you? You need to pull up in a new car because they're not going to take you serious. I mean, this is a serious movement, guys. This is everything that I know that I've wanted, and I'm pretty sure this is everything that I know that a lot of people on this phone call need. Okay, if you're going to do business, you need to pull up in a brand new car. I'm sorry. It's sorry that people are shallow, but that's what it is. Image is everything to people. If you pull up in a Bentley versus a Honda, you could be a serious guy in the Honda and not serious in the Bentley, but they're going to take the guy in the Bentley way more serious than they are going to take the guy in the Honda serious. And I know that for a fact. Okay? And that not only do we do that, we can get you in the place. Now you can live in the place. And now you got the access to the contacts, and then you have access to the parties, to where you can actually physically meet more people. Because networking, your network is your net worth. Okay, it's not about what you know, it's who you know, because who you know can show you what you're supposed to know. Okay, so guys, we're going to get into some really exciting things right now. We got some guest speakers on the call that's going to enlighten you guys. Like I said, these calls are, they're going to be motivational calls. But on these calls, we definitely want everybody to have a pen and pad handy to take copious notes on these calls, because you're going to walk away with gems. I mean, every time I talk to my business coach, my credit coach, Demont, I always walk away with something that's going to help me with my credit. Okay, so, we give you guys time to get pen and pad, because we got some guest speakers of some really, really high places that's going to really give you guys something to walk away. So that way, every week, we're going to be having these calls on Tuesday. Every week, you guys can walk away with something that you can go share to others. Because, like I said, Dope Network is the developing others powers everyone. So if everybody if everybody's getting their money right, everybody's got a better attitude, I believe the world could be a better place, because with the people who are giving the most are the people with the money. Okay, and that's what we got to understand. So what I want to do now, guys, is I want to turn this over. And before I do this, I challenge everybody to have your goals written down. And I cannot tell you how as simple as that sounds, guys, writing your goals down, because goals unset will never be met. And the first step to bringing something to reality is actually writing it down. You have an intangible idea, and then you're able to take that intangible idea and write that on a sheet of paper actually now makes that tangible. Like, guys, I want you guys to walk away with that. So what I want to do now, I know I've been talking, I want to hand over the call to, this guy right here is an entrepreneur extraordinaire. I mean, this guy's got his hands in everything, real estate. He's got shoe companies, clothing lines. I can't even go on. This guy is credit. He's a major executive with Dope Network. And I just want to introduce Demont, and he's going to talk to you guys about some credit one-on-one, guys. So without further ado, Demont, I just want to bring you to the stage, and I want to thank you personally for everything that you've done to me, because you've made a major change in my life. So I just want to thank you, Demont.
Thank you, John. I just want to say hi to everybody. I'm getting ready to just go over a couple of things, credit one-on-one. And then I'm going to introduce one of our Dope Life members, and his name is Iron, and he lives in Atlanta, Georgia. And then I'm going to introduce Kevin Thompson, which is he's got so much experience in the financial industry. So we've got a couple of things that he's going to go over with you guys. The first question, I'm the person that everybody talks to about their credit. Right now, we're in the process of building a fulfillment center in in Vegas. So we're training credit coaches. We have people that are knowledgeable in credit and people that are knowledgeable in concierge. So all of the members for Dope Life actually have a concierge, so they're able to call in. It's kind of like the American Express experience. So they're able to kind of call in and get discounts on various items and call in and see what RSVP for a lot of the events that we do across the United States. We partner with a lot of promoters across the United States. So if just say, for instance, if you were going to Super Bowl this weekend, Super Bowl in a few weeks in the Bay Area, you would actually call into the Dope Network and talk to your concierge, and they would give you some access to a lot of the events. They would give you access to hotels, and you will also talk to your credit coach about your credit. So it's the same phone number. It's more of a personal experience, and that's something that's growing. So I talk to people about their credit all the time, every day, all day long. That's what I talk to people about because I'm a credit coach. So I wanted to kind of go over some of the questions that we're getting because this is something that I don't think that anyone has ever seen before, the Dope Network and the Dope Life experience. So the first question is, what is it? Which John went over that question. So what is the Dope Network? How do you guys help me? How do I benefit from it? One of the main questions that people ask is how fast is the process? So I'm gonna just go through. So if your credit is bad, which most people have had challenges. So I don't know how to tell you if it's bad or if it's not bad because my definition of bad and your definition of bad might be two different definitions. So my definition of bad is when you don't have buying power. So that means when you can't buy a car with a low interest rate, when you can't, qualify for a house, and when you can't walk into a bank and get an unsecured loan. That's my definition of bad credit. So even a 700 would still put you in that position where you don't really have strong buying power. So a lot of people ask the question, how fast is the process? So how fast the process is how fast that you're willing to do what your job is. So we kind of partner with you. We partner with you through the process, and I think John went through enjoying the process and loving the process. And this year, I think that's one of the things that all of our leaders and all of us are working towards is just loving the process, whatever the process is, as long as you start the process. So whatever the process is, just start the process. And the first thing to do in the process is to figure out where you are. So once we figure out where you are and we figure out some of your goals and you go through your credit and we kind of do an overview on what your vision is. So some people, just say my neighbor, he just got an I-8. So he has great credit. He's my neighbor. He lives in a good area in Los Angeles, and his credit was okay, but it wasn't strong enough to get an I-8 with no money down. So we worked with him for about 3 or 4 months. We got him in a better position to get an I-8. Okay, he had good credit. He didn't have any negative items on his credit. He just needed some stronger trade lines. All right, so then some people come to us, and where it might be your case where you have some challenge. You've had some challenges. You have some things that are in collections or whatever the case may be. Everybody has a different case. So saying all that to say is my neighbor got his I-8 in 3 months. Have another guy, we just did his credit in the Midwest 1 day because he had some things on his credit that really didn't belong, so we really were able to get it off in 1 day. Some people, it might take 3 months. So everybody is a different case-by-case situation. Some people have fraud on their credit. Some people, their mother got credit in their name or their father got credit in their name, so it's a little bit more simpler for us to get it removed. Some people, it's their actual debt, so we have to go through the proper process to legally get it removed from their credit. So even if we get all of the negative stuff removed off of a person's credit, if you still don't do your part, you're still going to have bad credit. So it's a partnership, and you go into a partnership with us on your credit, and we walk you through every step of the process. If you don't have any credit cards and we tell you that you need to get a secure credit card and you wait 3 months to get a secure credit card, that's part of your process. So, we do our part and you do our part, you do your part, and we kind of come together to create the end result, which is what you're trying to acquire. So whether that's a business line of credit, whether that's a car, whether that's a house, whether that's just having good credit, whether that's getting refinanced for a loan. Like I said, everybody has a different case scenario, so it's virtually impossible for me to tell you how long the process takes because my process might not take as long as your process. The software that we use is a software that I don't think any other credit repair company uses across the United States. We purchased this software from someone that created the software, and now the software was first used on myself because I was in real estate. I had to do short sales on some of my houses when we went through a recession. So that's how I got into, actually the software was used on myself, and then we've used the software on hundreds of other people since then. But the software only helps to remove the negative items off of your credit. You still have to pay your bills on time. You still can't let other things get in collections. You still have to make sure that your credit cards are under 20% or at least 15%. You still have to not overextend your credit. You still can't get, a whole lot of inquiries. So it's just a process. And a lot of people, I was at a meeting the other day, and a lot of people don't understand credit because a lot of us aren't taught about credit when we're in our youth. So what we have chose to do with the Dope Network and Dope Life is to kind of partner with you, educate you on the process, whatever it takes to get to a 7 or 800 score. We have members that are at 830. I have a member, I just pulled their credit. They're at a 780. They just qualify for a $150,000 unsecured business line of credit. They're getting ready to get into real estate investing. We have, a lot of people that are enjoying the process. Iron will talk to you about his process. I think Gary's on the phone. He'll talk to you about his process. So we just have a lot of different members, and they're just enjoying the process. I think one of the main, and I'm going to say this once again, I think one of the main reasons why a lot of people don't want to be a part of this process is because they're scared. They're scared to look at their credit. Some people are in the 4s, some people are in the low 5s, and they're just scared. But I think that when we say we're building 16 millionaires in 2016, that's not just based upon your credit. That's based up off of what you're willing to do to change your situation. So if you're willing to change your situation, then you're willing to start with your credit, you're willing to start with yourself, and then you're willing to do everything else that it takes to get to where you're trying to get to. I don't know, and I've had multiple businesses. Some of them were successful, some of them weren't. I don't know any business that I've had or anyone that I've ever sat at the table with that wasn't concerned about my credit. If I went and got a phone line, if I went and got a commercial space, if I went and tried to apply for a bank, a business credit card, everything is contingent upon my credit. So that's one of the things that we're going to spend 2016 doing is going across the United States, going into all the cities, a lot of cities across the United States, and actually educating about the process, not just credit, but just working on yourself and getting yourself together. So that's one of the things that I want to go over. One of the questions is, so what if I don't want to go to the events? What if I'm not a party person? What if I don't want to network? What if I just want to get my credit done? Well, it's still the same process. All of the extra things that we add don't cost you anything. They're just available to you because you're part of the network. And I think John mentioned, he said your net worth is as strong as your network. So that's one of the things that one of our principles is to pretty much build your network so that you have relationships and so that you're able to be in a better position if you choose to join us. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to introduce Iron Golder. Iron Golder is over our Atlanta region, and he'll pretty much talk to you about his experience with the dope life. Iron, you on the phone? All right.
Yeah, I'm here. How's everybody doing this evening? Good, good, good. I know I can't hear you, but hopefully everybody can hear me good. And I just want to be real quick because I know this call is only supposed to last an hour or whatnot. But in my experience, first of all, I just want to thank DeMont. He's a godsend. Everybody that I've invited on this phone tonight, we've all had conversations. Like, people see how I'm living, and they like, IG, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, let me tell you, it's all credit-based, man. Everything that John and DeMont has told you is the truth. I was able to go get a new Porsche, no money down, drove it off the lot. I was able to buy a home. Anytime you buy a home, you have to put some money down, but it's credit-based. I didn't have to put 10% down. I didn't even have to put 7% down. And for those that are you that know me, that are on the phone, know that I live in a nice $500,000 house in Atlanta, Georgia. So it's real. Your credit is your lifeline. If you want a ball, it's all about credit. I'm going to go into a bank tomorrow and discuss getting a $100,000 business line of credit so that I can start buying properties, because DeMont had put me onto this program. We was on a video meeting last week about real estate. I'm like, oh, okay, I got some good ideas, but I want some capital to go with it so I can throw a little lipstick on these properties and get them sold quick flips is what we call them. Dope Life is going to be big. You know, everybody wants to know what's the next big thing. How can I make $1 million? How can I be rich? Well, this is it. It just makes sense. I don't even get myself involved with multi-level marketing companies. Never have. Anybody will tell you, I don't even listen to it. People come at me with the noni juice, with this and that, and I'm like, I don't, you know. But this just made sense to me. You know, you get your credit together. You can go to the bank and get money. Well, now that you got the money from the bank, how do I pay my bills every month? Well, you tell other people about the company and you bring them in and make your downline strong. Now your downline strong. Now you're getting a residual income from Dope Network every month, and you're able to pay your bills. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. And this is ground level. I don't know if DeMont mentioned a launch date yet, but it hasn't even launched yet. We're just kind of educating people and letting everybody know what's about to happen so that you can get in at ground level and you can possibly become one of those millionaires in 2016. So you don't become a millionaire in 2016. So you landed making $200,000 in 2016. That's still pretty darn good, if I may say so myself. So I just hope that everybody takes heed to everything that they've heard tonight. Don't sleep on it. Dope Network is real. I've been to DeMont's parties. I was in L.A. A few months ago. He does it big. Everything he's saying is real. I'm going to be at his yacht party again next month. And just don't sleep, man. Get your money. You know, we empowering people to empower others. And once people see you shining, like John said earlier, you pull up in that Bentley or that BMW or that Benz or whatever you can afford at the time, people are going to listen. What are you doing? How are you doing this? Oh, Dope Network, homie, come on and sign up. People are going to listen. And they're going to bring more people. And like I said, you're getting in the ground level. I consider it a blessing. I hope you do too. And that's really all I have to say, man. I mean, it speaks for itself. Anybody that understands credit and understands economics and how the USA economy works, it's commerce, man. So get it while the getting is good. This is the boom right here. This is it. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Ira. I want to share one thing before I introduce Kevin. This is DeMont again. Some things are just kind of like surreal, and I've never been in network marketing. I've never been multi-level marketing. I've had everything under the sun introduced to me, but I did want to participate in it because I don't like having to call all my friends and bring them in to put your phone on, whoever, Ira, I think that shit, put your phone on mute. I don't like having to bring all of my friends into something because I don't actually know the integrity of the company, and I don't necessarily know everything about it. And so I never wanted to be involved in anything like that. Met with a billionaire, and it's crazy how a person. I'm gonna be a little bit transparent. So it's crazy how a person that a lot of people said would never be anything. I had a meeting today, and it kind of brought tears to my eyes as I was like, how do I sit at a table with a billionaire? Like, I don't even know. Like, I've never in my childhood or in my teenage years or even in my adult life, I never could imagine sitting at a table with a billionaire. Like, so I sit at the table with a billionaire who is my mentor, and he has taken me under his wing, and he has pretty much said, I want you to pilot this company, and this company is going to be $1 billion company, and we're going to. This is a billionaire telling me this, and he said we're going to birth over 1 million. No, he said we're going to birth over 1,000 millionaires, and this company will be worth, he said we will have like 50, all of the numbers have pretty much been on point. He said we'll have 50,000 people to pretty much sign up for this by the end of the year, which I think is very low. So, we've been working through this whole process and building this whole process, and how do you take people who feel like that they're hopeless and they don't have anything? How do you take those people and educate those people and then make them a millionaire? Like, that's hard to do. But he promised me, he was like, this is a billionaire that I'm sitting at the table with, and we're talking about a company called Dope Network, and he trusted me to be able to launch this company. And now, the goal is for us to be able to go from city to city and build leaders, or to find leaders, because we can't build you. You're already a leader. So hopefully we have some leaders on the phone. If we do, I definitely think that we need to have a conversation outside of the conference call, so that, we could put you in a better position, not just with your credit, but financially, because this is a movement. Like, we're working on a tour. And we're actually going to do an event in Atlanta called Champagne and Cupcakes, which is a networking event. And I can't even explain what's getting ready to happen, but it's getting ready to happen. So hopefully, even if you don't get involved in that portion of Dope Network, hopefully you just get yourself together. That's my challenge to everyone before I introduce Kevin, is that I challenge everyone on the phone to just start working on your situation. You can't do it overnight. You didn't get in the situation you got in overnight, but you can start where you are. So, I know everybody's on mute, but I just want you to repeat after me before I introduce Kevin Thompson. Is just say to yourself, I'm going to start where I am. I can just hear everybody saying that. Okay. All right. So, Kevin, you on the phone?
Good morning. How are you? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Kevin.
Thank you. Hey, first of all, I want to say, man, congratulations to you guys. You guys have a really, really outstanding vision, and nothing's better than helping each other. Each one teach one. So let's just start there, and then I think you guys have a really great idea here. I want to come from the perspective of the bank. I've been working in the financial sector for about 13 years, helping customers and clients build and establish wealth. And I always tell people credit is like a diet. Your financial life, your financial health is like nutrition. So credit, when you think about living a healthy lifestyle, it's mind, body, soul, but a portion of that is nutrition and exercise. And you have to look at credit and money as those two things. The most important thing that a bank is going to look at before the conversation even starts is credit. And it's not credit score. It's capacity. So what we look at is a person's capacity to handle the money that we're giving. So with that being said, let's say a person comes to a bank and wants to borrow $50,000. The bank is going to look at the same thing that a person would look at. Does this person have the capacity to pay me back? So if you go to a bank with zero income, it's with the highest credit score, we're going to turn you down because what we want to see is, hey, if we give this person the money, can they pay us back? And that's called debt-to-income ratio. And I guess the easiest way to explain it is if a person is filling a bag, at a certain point, you're not going to be able to fill the bag anymore. So a bank isn't going to continue to fill the bag. There's a portion of the bag that the bank is going to draw a line, and that's usually about 50% of your debt to income. So what we look at is your monthly payments, totaling all of your obligations. That's what you call payments. Your obligations cannot exceed 50%. So IG on a $500,000 house with a $3,000 mortgage, he has to show the bank that he makes at least a minimum of $6,000. That's debt to income. The bank isn't going to loan you more than 50% of what your total gross income is, and that's always important because what happens is if you're going to the bank and you're continuously running your credit, being declined for loans, each time you run your credit, that could adversely or negatively impact your credit score. So it's really, really important that whenever you're thinking about obtaining credit, you understand before you go to a bank your financial situation. What should I ask for? What can I prove on paper? And that's going to be proven through check stubs, through tax returns. That's how you prove your income to the bank. That's how it's verified. The easier, and so that's debt to income. You always want to be able to show on paper what you make. You can't. Nobody's going to just take your word for it. Okay, those days are over when you can go in and get stated. We used to call that stated, but that's no document lending. The only type of credit that you're going to be able to get obtained without documentation is credit cards. That's the foundation of your credit, guys. The easiest form of credit to obtain is a credit card because the bank, you can apply for them online, over the phone, and we rarely look at documents for credit cards and also auto loans. If your credit score is high enough, the bank will trust you. But when you get into those larger purchases like IG's home, which I visited, a beautiful home, or when you're looking at the $100,000 signature loan, those are things you're going to have to be able to provide documentation for. And so that's credit and debt to income ratio. One other thing I want to touch on is a really important thing for you to do is to get to a bank, and that could be any financial institution. 95% of financial institutions have a financial advisor. That's the person who will take a look at your financial situation and help you put together a written plan. Plan should, like you said, write your goals down. Any plan, you should always have a written goal. It's like your roadmap to your financial freedom. Understanding what do I need to save each check? Do I need to maybe leave that pair of shoes this week? I can't do that this month. I'm going to put that $300 instead of buying a pair of shoes. I'm going to put that in my savings account in case I have to obtain a secure credit card. So it's always important that you have a center of influence in your life that understands finance, but more than that, understands your financial situation. And that's a key ingredient to your financial success and your financial freedom and really becoming the person you want to become. Demond, did you have any other things you needed me to touch on?
No, you went over the three things, unless there's something else you want to talk about.
No, I think one thing, you guys, credit, we have to look at credit as access. Credit is the key to the house, okay? But once you get in the house, it's your house. You got to take care of it. You got to clean it. You got to maintain it. You have to paint it. It's your home. And so it's not to be abused, guys. Credit is just the access. It's a bridge. It's not the road. And anytime you're using credit, you really should be leveraging credit to create income streams. So what Iron's doing, he's not getting $100,000 to buy the latest pair of Giuseppe's or get a few purses for his wife. He's going to be taking $100,000 and turning credit into income. And that's it for me.
That's really profound. That's really profound, Kevin, because like I said, I've somehow positioned myself around millionaires and billionaires. And when I had before I left LA, I had a meeting with a millionaire, and I said, John, I was like, how'd you get so rich? And he said, using other people's money. He was like, me and my wife, we left our money in the bank. We got our credit together. We went to the bank and we borrowed as much money as we could. We used that. We invested it. We paid it back. Then we went to the bank and we borrowed more money. And then we used that. We made money, and then we paid that back, and then we got more money. So, I think that at least a lot of people that I deal with, they're scared to get loans. And I don't know why they're scared, but they're scared to get loans, maybe because they think they can't pay them back or they won't be able to pay them back. But I think the key, at least that we teach within the network, is the key to being financially wealthy is using other people's money so that you can make money. But in order to be able to use other people's money, you have to have good credit. So Confucius said something. He said, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. So I think one of the things that we need to do as we get off this call is to have faith in ourselves. So if you say you can or if you say you can't, you're right, but you have to have that faith in yourself to make the change. And I believe my change started when I started focusing on myself and my own situation financially. So we can't just, keep using excuses as an excuse. So I want to take the time to say, before I turn it back over to John, I want to say thank you to Kevin Thompson for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. These calls are pretty much set up to be able to give our members. I see a lot of our members are logged in. It gives a lot of people who have questions about our network. It gives them some information. I didn't want to set up a platform where we charge people. I wanted to set up a platform where we brought in guests and where we can give you information that can help you, and we can encourage you to, until next week. So next week we'll be doing the same thing at the same time. I want to say thank you to Iron Golder, who is an amazing person and who is an amazing friend, and I'm looking forward to us partnering together to be able to make a difference. Because when you're able to give people knowledge, the Bible says we fail because of the lack of knowledge. When you're able to give people knowledge, that is much more than any amount of money that you can ever get. So I'm thankful to be on this journey with him as we are on a pursuit to find leaders and as we've partnered with millionaires and billionaires to create more millionaires and billionaires. I mean, just think, if we have 500 members, which is very low. But we have 500 members and we all put in $5,000 as an investment to get a strip mall, to get whatever we want to get as a bank. And we all have good credit. That's $2.5 million, And so, I think the key is, how do we get in a better position to where we can pull together? Or if one of you are trying to start a business, I know I have a member right now who's trying to start his own funeral home. I have a member right now who is on the phone. I see his number. He's actually in the process of buying an apartment complex. And then I have a member on the phone. I see his number where he actually has a app in beta, and they're actually looking at his app. A lot of people, some of the Facebook people, are looking at his app. So then I have another person on the phone who's actually in the process of, Iron is also in the process of producing his own movie. So, you know, I feel like, you know, if you're talking about innovators, I feel like just on this call alone, we have some major innovators across the United States. So there's no reason why anyone on this call shouldn't be successful because of the relationships just within the network. So I'm going to turn the call back over to John, and I just want to say thank you to everybody for taking the time out of your schedule. I know Obama's on TV, and we're kind of competing against that. But we'll be back at the same time next week, and we'll have a new guest, and we'll have more information for you. If you're interested, John will give you the information if you're interested in getting more information about joining Dope Life. Go ahead, John.
All right, thank you. Guys, I just want to say I just had a brief attitude adjustment. I usually have a great attitude, but I feel like just being on this call, my attitude went from great to exceptional. Like, guys, we had a great time. Iron, I mean, great information. I mean, guys, Iron, I mean, he's speaking facts, guys. Brand new Porsche, $500,000 house, on the way to the bank tomorrow to go make some more money. I mean, Kevin, thank you for all that knowledge that you dropped on us. I mean, he's talking about DTI, capacity, budgeting, leveraging. Okay, guys, where are you going to get this at? I know, like Demond said on the phone, Obama's on the phone on the TV today. Obama's got his stuff together. You guys got to get your stuff together. And just the fact that you guys was on this call says that you're serious. So don't let a moment go by, and don't take this call for granted, because I'm actually even more excited about being involved with this network. I mean, this is dope, guys. This is literally dope. Developing others powers everyone. And, guys, I just want to say thank you, Iron. Thank you, Kevin. Demont, always. And I just feel like I'm totally honored to be on this call, and I'm so excited to take this thing moving forward. And we got a lot of people that we're talking about, because credit is a universal language. You say credit, everybody's going to ask you how your credit is, or if you say anything about, hey, I fixed credit, people's ears open up. So this is an easy way. I mean, nothing's easy, but it's a very simple way for you to just start building on yourself. So like I said, guys, you are your best investment. I want to leave you guys with, I'm going to send my email out there. I actually give you my personal phone number. I'm 100% transparent. So, guys, here it is. Get your pen and pads out. Also connect with your leaders who got you on the call. Get involved. Don't try to find out how to get involved. Get involved. Your life depends on it. So, guys, my direct line is 323-674-1749. That's 323-674-1749. And my email is jdskelton3. That's JDSKELTON 3. And it was a pleasure meeting you guys, and I cannot wait. Like I said, guys, see you guys at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. All right, we'll see you guys later.